to the Voyages of here on Rook and Rasp. We'll be following the story of the USS Serenitis as it continues its mission to explore the Gamma Quadrant. We're using the Star Trek Adventures RPG rules from Modifius. As a reminder, we are in no way affiliated with Modifius, we just really like their game. I'm Matt, and I'll be running the game like always. Tonight, we're joined by Sean as Commander Rory Vallon, our first officer. Uh, Rob as Lieutenant Lonnie Bex, our Chief of Security, and Phil as Lieutenant Commander Tobin Perrin, our Chief of Engineering. Unfortunately, uh, our other cast members have been called away on away missions, so they'll be back when they can. We'll see how it goes. Um, it just may not be tonight, and that's okay. Welcome to everybody on chat. Definitely, if you get a chance, beam yourself up. You can also spend those Clue Thulus, which are our channel points, on rerolls for the players. I guess you can give me a reroll too if you'd really like to. And also, you can buy Momentum and Threat. I currently have the group at 3 Momentum and 6 Threat. So that's where we're at now. We'll see where it goes. And real quick before we get started, I have some really good friends that run a company called Accidental Cyclops. They have a Kickstarter launching tomorrow for their brand new book for 5th edition called Surviving Strange Hollow. There's a great creative team on this. It's all based on the artwork of Emily Hare. And then they've gotten some people from Critical Role and from Shadowrun and Pathfinder, and Ed Greenwood, who is, the creator of Forgotten Realms. It looks like it's going to be great. They've year before last, they put out a Faith No More role-playing game called The Real Thing, which Faith No More loved and also did really well on Kickstarter. The Kickstarter goes live tomorrow, so if you have a chance, pop over there and check that out. I'm going to drop the link to their mailing list that will alert you when it goes live. It's get.accidentalcyclops.com, and it'll walk you through all of what's going on with that book. But if you have a chance, I would appreciate you guys at least checking it out and supporting my friends. They've been doing a lot of good work, so I really, really like what they're doing. I think that's it, and we'll get right into the game. They're the captain's log. That's where I should start. That's usually how these start, right?
Most of them.
Captain's log, Captain Talata, USS Serenitis. We've received a faint distress signal, automated and with no audio or video. We've been dispatched to investigate and find its origins. So you guys were on a routine, mission of stellar cartography. I was going to say geography, but it's in space geography.
Spography.
And the ship received a very faint, emergency ping from another ship, and it was in the general area. So the Serenitis was dispatched to go follow up on that. Can I get? Oh, we don't have a. We are missing some things tonight, and that's okay. Let's see what we can catch on fire. Why don't we go?
Just help us a lot.
Yeah. Why don't we go for a regular old sensor sweep from Phil? Because you're probably the one that can do it. Reason and science. The ship can assist with sensors and science. It's going to be a difficulty of 1.
Are you sure you don't want me to roll my grand total of 8 on that?
Let's see, that would be what? Reason and science?
Yeah. None
Well,
of
that's
yours.
9. I could do it.
Sensor sweep for the ship would be at a 13. I can go ahead and roll that.
Yeah.
That is a natural 1.
Oh, there's 2. How about you, Phil?
I also got 2 successes, so we should probably get some extra info.
4. That's going to put you guys at cap. So as you come out of warp, at a distance from the signal, there is the system that it's in has a couple of planets, but the majority of what's around the sun is asteroids, and it's kind of almost, I would say dome-like, but that would suggest that there was actual construction or thought that went into this. It's just that these asteroids are kind of scattered in all 3 dimensions and not just kind of one dimension like we've got here in our solar system.
In the Kepler belt, yeah.
Yeah, which is a little odd, but not out of the question. Not the first time that this has been found. Among those asteroids is some are bits and pieces of metal from a starship that look very similar to Federation origins.
Are there any chunks big enough to look for registry codes or markings?
Not on these. These are maybe the size of a person. So relatively small ship size, like to ship. You have a pretty confident idea of where the distress call is coming from. There's a little bit of distortion. Some of the rocks have some heavy metal deposits that are distorting it a little bit, but with a little bit of work, it wouldn't be that hard to find where the distress call is coming from.
Yeah, let's see if we can extrapolate, get around the asteroids interference, and let's see where we can track down that signal.
I'm going to assume that Rory is piloting the ship.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a control con roll. It's going to be a difficulty of 3. There's lots of debris. The ship can assist with engines con.
Okay. Would evasive action apply to this at all?
Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
So, I'm sorry, it was control and con.
Con, yeah.
Wait, I gotta remember, is that the...
I can roll for the ship. What's the number?
11.
Is that the one? It's
I got a success.
marketing. I can't remember if that's the one. Nope. I got a 20.
Yay!
And I got a 2.
Yay!
So I got a complication and I got 2 successes.
So that'll, that's a success. So yeah, as you're kind, you know what, I'm just going to take that as threat. Because I was already complaining about not having enough threat. Might as well give me some. As you are piloting among the asteroids, it becomes tight. Like you're in a big ship. So becoming tight is really not that tight. It's just your ship is not as maneuverable as a much smaller one. But you do kind of move into the asteroid field, and then after moving past a few, a ship does come into view. It is a Sovereign class ship. Kind of looks like it's been beat to hell. It looks like it has what look like blaster or disruptor marks on the hull in several places. The saucer is pretty beat up. And it doesn't seem to be have any real power. Tobin, you looking at the scans, you can tell that the warp core has been ejected. I told you I was going to eject the warp core. Just not
Beat
your
us
ship.
to it.
All right, fair enough.
No, so yeah, but the warp core is
There's
missing.
no probe debris, right?
Everything, all these asteroids, probes.
No.
But the ship has power, but it's like emergency backup power. It's not much more than that.
That's not the Enterprise, correct, Tobin?
No.
The Enterprise is a Galaxy class, I believe.
Nope, not anymore.
At this point, it'd be Sovereign.
It crashed on a planet trying to get away from a ribbon. When the 2 Klingon boob window ladies attacked it.
And that's where we
listen. All of this is factual.
And
Would those
No,
be
you're
the
important is that's when
twins
Data
or the
cries over Spot.
quadruplets?
Yes, both. What were you saying, Sean?
And more importantly, after the crash, that's when Data cries over Spot.
That's true. It's true.
His heart grew 3 times that day.
I did find out that the reason that Data cusses in that movie is so that it wasn't a PG movie. They were afraid it wouldn't make any money if it was PG.
Could be worse.
No, it is. The Enterprise is accounted for in the Alpha Quadrant off on some mission near the Briar Patch.
I mean, I don't trust that because Q takes special interest in the Enterprise
It's fair.
frequently.
There is no transponder signal coming to you, and it seems like the emergency signal is kind of a last-ditch effort of the ship itself to kind of send out something. Like the power is failing, and the backup systems have kicked out another distress call.
Is there any life signs?
You need to roll another scan. We can do that. It's reason and that other thing, reason and science, plus sensors and science for the ship.
Tova, can you
difficulty
please
is
run a
gonna
scan for
be-
life signs, please?
We'll call it a difficulty of 1.
I got 2 successes.
Fantastic.
Should someone roll for the ship?
I mean, I can. That's 11.
That's a success as well. You guys are already capped on momentum,
Yeah.
so
Do
you've
we-
got a couple of points. What now?
I was about to say, since we're capped on momentum, do we want to use that to ask for more information once we get the baseline information?
Yeah, definitely.
So the ship is not registering any life signs. From what you can tell, exterior and interior, there's a lot of damage. The saucer, like I said, the saucer is kind of beat to hell. The blast marks are disruptors, and it kind of looks like Dominion disruptors. And then there are also like torpedo damage done along both the nacelles and the body of the ship as well. And it is of note that the captain's yacht is missing.
So they could be around here somewhere.
Yeah.
And the distress signal was most definitely coming from the ship. It's not like
It's still every 2 or 3 minutes pinging from the ship.
Okay. And there's no planets nearby that they could have escaped to?
The 2 planets here, one of them is a demon class planet, so not an option. And the other one is right on the cusp of being an M class planet instead of an L class planet. L class are just kind of rough. So they could have landed there, but they probably, if it had been any time, they probably died. There's no vegetation or like animals, and the planet has extreme hots and colds.
I'm going to ask this of Tobin, but I mean, it's up to, I guess, above the table up for you to answer. Tobin, what is the likelihood that they could have hollowed out one of the asteroids and set up some kind of shelter?
Well, I hate to put anything past the ingenuity of any Starfleet officer, but I think our investigations should probably start with the debris field.
Lonnie, what do you think about heading over to the ship to see if we can get more information from the data core?
Yeah, sounds probably about the best idea for it. Because since it doesn't have power core, so we'd have to bring a external source of power, and we probably can't like attach a probe from the outside for that. Probably need to. Seriously, this time probes are good.
Well, if we took over one of the runabouts, we might be able to tap the power source there, at least to get minimal power to the computers.
You can also beam over external power sources. Like, that's not out of the question.
I wanted to hack into the landing bay.
You assume that you're going to be able to talk the ship into opening the doors.
Yes.
Also assuming that we have someone capable of hacking the
That's true too.
stuff right now.
You know, this was the worst time for everybody to go on leave.
Don't worry, I can rip the door off of it and climb in.
There we go. I like this plan.
Did our scans obviously showed minimal atmosphere over on the ship? I mean, it's not
Atmosphere seems fine. Like there's not any. There are portions of the ship that have had breaches, and like they're no good. But the majority of the ship has enough breathable air that you should be fine there for a while, like several hours. And if you get any power up, it should kick on life support.
Well, also temperature. I mean, if
Yeah,
there's no
it's.
life
I mean,
support.
it's going to be a little cold.
Okay.
But like we're talking like, oh no, 63 degrees. I'm sorry, you're from Texas. It's gonna be super freaking cold.
Yeah, like I'm freezing as a tiny person now.
Yeah.
Let's say Lonnie's from California, so he's not gonna fare much better.
Yeah, I'm from San Francisco, so
No, you're just used to the rain.
yeah. All right, let's gear up and head over. Let's go ahead and bring phasers just in case we don't know what we're gonna find over there. It wouldn't be the first time that a derelict in space has some surprising company on board.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fantastic. You guys beam over without any issue. Where are you planning on beaming to?
Data core, would we want to go engineering or would we want to start on the bridge?
Probably engineering.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Can we roll for that?
You can beam to engineering. That's fine. It was more of a like. Normally, you would beam to like a transporter room,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't necessarily know where that's at, and there's no transporter room that's on.
Yeah.
So that doesn't do you any good. It was just more of a question of where.
Yeah, we're gonna go. Let's go to engineering. We'll see what we can get up for power.
Okay.
Yes.
As the three of you beam in, engineering looks off. There's exposed conduit. There's wires hanging down. Clearly, there was a lot of damage here. The missing warp core is off-putting. It's just a big old giant empty room now. Like it just seems odd, and there's no glow. Like Tobin, this doesn't
I'm
feel
super
good
depressed
at all.
and sad.
Yeah. But more importantly, what you would normally expect to be like light grays and like stark blacks against that, there are a lot of dark grays, along with the black. So the whole room is also just generally darker than what you would expect. Yeah. So, but you are in engineering. Does someone want to do a tricorder scan in here?
Yeah, I'll try it.
Okay. So it is reason and security, or reason and science. We just lost our reason and science guy for just a second. He'll be back.
What is the?
It's a difficulty of 0.
Oh, okay. My God, that's a 20 and a success.
That's fantastic. I'm going to take that as the threat. So as on a quick scan, you are detecting 9 bodies of various species. All of them fit within kind of the Federation, kind of scattered here and there throughout engineering. Looking quickly, you do see some of them have like really bad plasma burns on them, or have been cut open and there's blood from something exploding and hitting them. But it looks like whatever's going on, they got hit with whatever debris and such what was causing damage down here.
And I mean, not that I'm a doctor, but I mean, been through a war, been through Starfleet. I mean, did these look fresh, or are they in some states of decay?
They are in. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was about to say, could I roll for that?
Yeah, go for it. You actually have medicine.
Emergency medicine, and
yeah. So let's call it insight and medicine.
Insight medicine, sure thing.
Mhm.
And is field medicine going to?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You don't have field medicine though. You have emergency medicine.
Emergency
I'll
medicine,
I'll let
yes.
that cover it too. Though. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Well, this is emergency, just a little afterwards.
We'll call it a difficulty of 2.
Sure thing. That is 2 successes.
Fantastic. So on a quick look around, you notice the plasma burns and cuts and like general damage. Lonnie, when you get close enough to kind of look over and kind of scan, a couple of things pop up. First, the uniform's all wrong. Um, Instead of the the normal, what do you call that, communicator, these are completely different and not Starfleet designed at all. It's just 3 bars. They are wearing, instead of like pips, the ranks are done in almost a star, but like more stylized star. So like the top is more elongated than the other pieces, or the other points, and there are 5 of them. And the colors are there, but the red, gold, and blue are normal, but the outer coats are um, they're like striped in reds for most of them, and several of them have several of them have daggers on their belts. And Lonnie, you've done enough like security reports. You're pretty positive that this is a ship from the mirror universe.
I'm going to hear Lonnie sigh. I'm like, is this what I think it is?
I reckon likely so, yes. It appears that these are from the mirror unit. Is that the official in-canon designation of it?
It is.
Okay. Yes, it appears that we have had some visitors from the mirror universe.
Well, it looks like they weren't any more prepared for the Dominion than we were.
Yep.
The bodies have been dead between 5 and 8 hours.
Oh, this is recent.
Ooh, we should probably let the ship know that there might be Dominion in the area. Wait, is this
Oh,
this considered a breach of the treaty on the Dominion's part?
not if they fired first.
Currently, you don't have enough information.
Okay. Well, I don't know if attacking the Mirror Federation could be counted as attacking the Federation.
Yeah, and it also depends on the interaction that led up to
Mhm.
that. Like, who knows what that looked like? I do, but you don't.
Captain Halada, this is Valen. Bad news, this is not a Federation ship. It does appear to be from the Mirror Universe, and it does look like it is a recent attack from the Dominion.
Proceed with caution, Commander. I will. We will raise shields and wait patiently to make sure that everything is safe.
Understood. And we're positive there were no other life signs on the ship, correct?
None whatsoever.
Let's find information. I want to know who fired first.
Yeah. So are you going to plug in here and try and get some power to computers?
Yeah, don't we need to reverse the adapters though? So it's a mirror universe, so we need to inverse the power. No.
No. Yeah, so you plug in a couple of the power sources and get the computers, life support, and like bare bones shielding security up. Some of the shielding, like the internal shielding, is important to keep breaches from causing problems on other decks, and they automatically snap into place on a lot of places. What is it you're looking for?
I want, for starters, I'm going to, since their injuries are 5 to 8 hours old, I want to see if there's any external footage of what led up to the destruction.
As you're kind of looking through the information, you do come across a section labeled Captain's Logs. Do you want to look at those, or do you want to keep going?
Yeah, let's look at the most recent one.
Okay. It comes on screen, has the face of a very familiar Cation. He says, Captain Leverum, reporting for the ISS Sovereignty. We have traveled into the Gamma Quadrant. The rumors of a wormhole were true. We've encountered some hostile aliens calling themselves the Dominion. The first two assaults were relatively easy to push back, but I have a feeling that they're going to push harder on us. I will contact the Empire and request more information, but I fear that there may not be enough time before we are attacked again.
Let's make sure we sending this all back to the Serenitis because the Dominion could use this as a breach of the treaty. We need to document everything we found to show them that this was not done from the Federation or any alliance, that this is definitely from the Empire, from the Mirror Universe. So we want to make sure our bases are covered there while we look to see what went first or who shot first.
Okay. You keep going through. There is a. It's not a security cam. It's whatever they record the information with, like sensor logs and some display information.
Yeah.
It looks like the last conflict. The Dominion, like 8 Dominion ships, were attacking the Sovereignty, and its shields were mostly holding, which is saying a lot. Um, Something happens to the Sovereignty though, and after it takes out a couple of the small Dominion ships. The ship has an explosion that takes out a section of like the lower decks, and it's maybe 30 minutes later, or I'm sorry, 30 minutes, 3 minutes later, when the warp core ejects and almost immediately explodes, and then the sensor logs show a very different position, and there are no Dominion ships.
The debris that we saw when we were coming in, is that the remains of the warp core?
No. Having to guess, it looks like pieces of the ship that had come off and drifted.
I'm not I'm talking to Lonnie and Tobin. I'm not a science person, but when they detonated the warp core, is that what threw the ship here? This ship shouldn't be here. That I would have thought the Dominion would have towed it away. If there's 8 of them.
Is it possible that the Dominion were worried that they'd violate the treaty by doing so?
Yeah, that thought crossed my mind. But why would they leave all this evidence here?
Tobin, can I get you to give me a reason and engineering roll? Difficulty is 2. We'll say warp field dynamics applies.
All right. We're at max momentum.
Yeah, we are.
I'll buy a die just for fun.
Fantastic. That'll put us down to 5. That's more dice to roll 20s on.
2 successes.
Fantastic. So you remember the scans of the asteroids as you guys came in. Nothing. It was heavy metals, not out of that question. However, if the combat took place in a similar asteroid field in, say, the Mirror Universe, and the warp core exploded at a time that was that after it had just been ejected, it's possible that it pulled the ship across into this universe at that time. So those were mirrored. It's possible those are mirror Dominion and not actual like main universe Dominion. And it's kind of like the explosion is what sent them here.
Yeah, so in a very techno-babbly and confusing way, Tobin says that to the two of you.
Huh. Well, that.
Makes me feel better that we're not waiting for the Dominion to return to finish their job.
Yeah.
Now the question is, what do we do? And did the captain's yacht leave in this universe, or did it leave their universe?
According to the sensor logs, the captain's log or the captain's yacht was still on the ship when it came after the explosion in the shift.
And how many people can fit onto a captain's yacht? Not many.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean,
Depends
not
how
obviously the
comfortable they
full
wanna be.
complement of the crew.
You know what? I don't even need to look it up. I can just make things up. About 35.
Okay.
The
really
ship's
friendly.
complement is normally close to 500 on a full ship, but that includes like families. You would have to assume that the mirror ships are not going to have families on them, so maybe 4 or 350 would be about right. But that's kind of where it's at.
Since it's relatively safe at the moment, Tobin, I'd like you to bring over a team of engineers. Maybe we can get some shielding technology from them, because from the scans that we saw, it definitely stood up against Dominion attack. That might be beneficial to us.
Happy to look further. Sorry.
And then once engineering gets here, so we're not going to leave Tobin alone. Lieutenant, let's head up. Or not Lieutenant, Commander. Let's head up to the bridge and see if there's anything else that we can find
Sounds good.
from there.
I do want to thank Sergeant Wolf for buying Threat. We really appreciate that. Well, I really appreciate that. They don't so much. So you call over for engineering. When you hit your comm badge, it chirps like it's not working. I need everyone to give me an insight and security roll. There's no difficulty here. It's just kind of seeing what you guys do and don't see.
One back away. Insight security.
I'll happily take my one success.
I've got one
I don't-
success.
I don't reckon I got anything that would be maybe infiltration for focuses.
Yeah, no, not so much.
Okay, I got 2 successes.
Fantastic. So, Valen, you hit your comm badge, and it does that weird chirp. You look at it, and you kind of take a look around, and it takes a little bit, 45 seconds, a minute, before you realize that one of the power sources is missing. Sorry, Lonnie, when Valen hits his communicator, you just kind of turn and look, and you're almost positive you see something move out of the corner of your eyes, but as you turn, it's not there. And Tobin, you see the same thing kind of as Valen. You notice after he hits his comm badge that there is a power source missing. I don't know why, but I have it in my head that the power sources are those canisters from Monsters Inc., and that's what they look like. And I cannot. Every time I say it, that's what I'm thinking about.
I'm here for it.
I've never seen Monsters Inc.
Really? Wow, that is an interesting blind spot in your pop culture knowledge. All right.
What's going on? There's Mike.
So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it looks.
tricorder scan.
Oh, tricorder scan? Fantastic. That's reason and science. Let's say a difficulty of 2. Yay.
I'll buy one die.
Cool. That'll put us down to 4.
Two successes.
Fantastic. On a quick scan, what you see is that the power source that is missing, it's in a Jeffries tube headed up, um, but there's nothing carrying it. There's no life sign in there with it.
Sir, we're not alone.
Did you see what took it?
No, but I see the energy signature of the canister moving.
Yeah, I'm gonna check my comm badge and phaser to make sure that I have power cells in them.
Phaser works just fine. The comm badge has a power cell, but won't connect.
Okay.
There's some sort of dampening field around you right now.
Gentlemen, I hate to suggest it, but let's follow it in the Jeffrey tubes.
It is also possible you could use one of the turbolifts if you wanted to move faster. There is enough power for that.
Oh, is there?
Like those are on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then let's.
It's really hard to repair the ship when you can't get to the deck without climbing 45 flights. So
But then we can't crawl through the.
we have not had a good Jeffrey's tube episode.
We
That's
did a
weird.
long time ago. I got shot in it.
That's right.
I'm trying to imagine Charlie crawling around a Jeffries tube, though.
Yeah.
Not a small character, if I remember correctly.
No.
All right, yeah,
So-
we'll book it to a turbo lift. Try to cut it off at the pass.
Sure. So after you go down a hallway, the turbo lifts are not where you expect them. They are shifted, not by a lot, but by enough that it's clear. So it looks like there is a design similarity, but not an exact duplicate of design. It looks like the canister is headed towards the what do you call that? The flight deck. What's where the
Cockpit?
the shuttle bay?
Hangar bay. Yeah.
Yes, the hangar bay. And you take the turbolift straight there, and kind of pop out. There, the canister is still coming up and is a few floors below. And as you kind of step into the hangar bay, there are it is a very confusing mess. There are chunks of shuttles sitting around, some that look like they've been sheared with some sort of energy force, others that have clearly crashed into the bay, and kind of undamaged. In kind of the middle is a ship of a design that none of you are familiar with. It's like a dark brown, kind of shaped like it's kind of long, elongated, but big enough for maybe 4 or 5 people. Doesn't seem to have any armaments, but the two tiny nacelles on the sides at the back look like they are powerful. Just from a quick look from Tobin, like those look like powerful engines.
Can we download the schematic for this? Just from the outside?
You can scan it. Whether or not you can download a schematic, like the schematics are going to take time to pull together.
Yeah.
But you can scan
Well,
it.
I want to take, get one built for ourselves if we can.
Sure. So you do a quick scan, or you go to do a quick scan, and there is nothing there on your scanner.
So there's some similarities. I'm keeping an eye on the tricorder, tracking, getting close to the hangar bay.
I want to try and touch it.
Oh yeah, it's there. But as you touch it, you do feel like that buzz of electricity. Not like you're getting shocked, but like you can feel that there's some sort of field coursing through it at that current time.
And there's no obvious entry point.
There is a hatch at the back.
Open?
No.
No.
There is a pad that you could use, and the controls look Dominion-like.
Interesting. How close are they to getting to the cargo bay at this point?
They've got another floor or more.
Tobin, can you see if you can get the door open with the hatch? Lonnie, I'd like us to get ready for our visitors. Phaser's out on stun for the
Sure thing.
to start with.
I'm gonna pull out my phaser, and I didn't talk to you about this, but I'm assuming I still have the knife from the Klingon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, kind of keeping that in one hand,
Sure.
more apt to block things incoming at me than to actually stab anything. But
No, that's that makes sense. Tobin, you're going to go over and try to open it?
Yes.
You tap the button to open, and the door opens.
Oh.
Well, it wasn't locked. It
Okay.
was just like they shut the door.
I'm
That's
When
why-
always
the,
that's
over
why-
engineering things.
That's
When
why
the
we bring you on
hatch-
these missions, Tobin. You're a genius. You get it all open when we ask.
as the hatch opens, it essentially looks like just kind of a tight quarters tube inside. There is at the very front, like what looks like flight control, and kind of to the right of that, behind it, is what you're going to assume is tactical. Otherwise, there's no view screen. There's no nothing. It's just kind of bulkhead. You do see two kind of headset-looking things hanging near those two positions, though. If you remember from Star Trek, the Dominion wore the personal view screens, and it looks like there's two of them sitting there.
I could try putting one of these on, Commander.
Can you see if you could lock out their controls too while you do that?
I can try, yeah.
Like, update the password.
So I'll try and do that.
Fantastic. We're going to go with reason and engineering. It's going to be a difficulty of 4. You do still have
I
a
want
bunch
to.
of... I'm sorry?
Say I want to buy a die. Do any of my focuses apply?
Good question. Computers does.
I'm just going to try it with a 3 die.
Okay. Actually, I think technical expertise should give you another die, doesn't it?
Am I being assisted by the ship's computers or sensors?
No,
That
never mind.
gives me a reroll.
Okay.
I don't think any of my talents apply. I only got 3 successes, sorry.
Okay. That's fine. So you kind of start working through their system to see if you can lock them out and like insert your own command code to kind of only unlock for you. It's you feel like you're making progress, and then suddenly it's like you're pushed out roughly. Like you don't have access to anything you did. And the screen kind of flashes red and goes off.
I did not do great, Commander.
It's all right. It's not anything that we're used to.
So the power cell is about half a deck below you and has stopped moving.
Run, wabbits. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of actually do all the point to. I mean, I'm assuming we can see the Jeffrey tubes hatch that they'll be coming out.
Yeah, there are a couple of them, a couple of different ones. None of them have opened.
I'm just going to. I don't know. What do you think, Lonnie? Should we just play the waiting game and see if we can wait them out?
I mean, that's usually my. Well, I think I may go try to flush them out, see what happens.
All right.
So we
So
know roughly where they are in the Jeffries tubes.
You have a pretty good idea of where the canister is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you head over to the Jeffries tube, and can I get you to give me an insight and security roll? It's going to be a
Insight
difficulty of 3.
security. Would any of my focuses help? Maybe surveillance or
Yeah, let's call
infiltration?
surveillance. Surveillance is fine.
Okay. And what's our momentum at?
3.
I'm gonna go ahead and buy a die for that.
Oh, that's the wrong way. Got to bring you down, not put you
Well,
up.
that is 3 successes and a complication.
Fantastic. I'm going to take the complication as threat, and then I'm going to spend 6 of that threat, and now the complication range is 19 to 20.
Ooh.
As you go to reach for the hatch, just before you open it, you recognize like a handmade spring trap
Mhm.
that is going to release something inside the tube as soon as you open the hatch.
All right then.
What did you see, Commander?
Like, they have trapped the hatches.
Can you disarm it?
I can try, but I'm not sure. Does it look like there's something I could do?
You might be able to fiddle with it for a little bit, but the best thing to do would be to come from the other side
Mhm.
and disarm it there. You might be able to get it rigged so that it holds whatever is being held while you open the hatch, but that might take a little bit.
And is there another tube outlet near in the hangar bay, or
There's another
would I
one
have to
kind of
go?
on the other side. Um, that would just it would just be a longer kind of move to get over to where the power cell is.
Are there any corpses in this room?
Not that you have immediately found. On a quick scan, there are at least pieces of corpses. The ships, the ships that are sheared, had people in them at the time.
Could I find a couple of comm badges?
Yeah, that's
Because
fine.
maybe the dampening field isn't affecting their own technology. Maybe it's just
Sure.
alien technology that it's.
Yeah, no, you can. Yeah, you can find a couple of com badges.
Yeah. I'll kind of pop them, see if they.
They both give off that same failure
Ah.
sound.
Same sad chirp.
Yep. I need everyone to give me an insight security. There's no difficulty here. It's how fast you're going to be able to react to it. I like that. I really like that. Sean, I love that face. Go, you make that face all you want.
So 219. So 1 success and a complication.
Cool. Thank you,
Would
Lainey, for the momentum. That put us at 3.
would surveillance or infiltration help with this?
We'll say surveillance says yeah.
Then that is 4 successes.
Okay.
2
Tobin?
criticals.
Just 1 success.
So the hatch starts to close on you, and like rapidly close. And as that happens, you see just the briefest glimpse of kind of a green scaled face. I got a complication, didn't I? Yeah. So Valen, like as you're kind of standing there talking to Lonnie, you turn to look, and there is a green scaled man in Jim Hadar armor, but all painted black. Right by the hatch to the ship, closing the hatch. He seems to be unarmed, but as you look at him, another one comes out of nowhere and knocks you to the ground. Lonnie, what you see is there is a green-skinned scaled man closing the hatch, and another one uncloaks, much like Jim Hadar do, knocks the commander to the ground, and then disappears again.
Before he disappears, could I activate my talent no hesitation.
What does it say?
At the start of any round in an action scene, you may add 1 to the threat to take the first turn. Now, I don't want to interrupt that because it's a complication, but just to sort of see if I can get in a swing before he disappears.
You can interrupt that if you'd like. Like the commander will still be knocked to the ground, but not.
Yeah.
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 Then go for it.
All right. So you get a threat for that.
Yep, I'm at 5.
And because of my applied force, I get to use fitness instead of daring for my attacks.
Fantastic.
So fitness security.
Yeah. Are you shooting or are you stabbing?
I'm gonna punch.
Oh, okay, cool. So it is a difficulty of 1.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to stab anyone with this. It's basically to block if someone.
Yet.
Yeah, yet.
Huh.
I was worried that this was Mirror Charlie, and I didn't want to kill Mirror Charlie. All right, so that is 2 successes.
Fantastic. As you hit him, what you feel is the scaling is not for show. It is armored scaling.
Mhm.
So not that you break your hand or anything, but there is a
Mhm.
great deal of resistance to your punch.
Yeah.
The other thing you note is that he does not seem to care that you punched him. You did not hit him hard.
So am
Or
I not
hard
rolling
enough.
damage?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Roll damage. For some
Yeah.
reason, I thought the 2 was damage. Go ahead.
No,
roll the
no.
damage.
No, because I was about to say I have a 12 fitness.
It shouldn't go off of fitness. It should go off security.
No, fitness is the attribute.
Oh, okay.
So it's fitness security.
For damage?
He's got a talent that allows him to use fitness
Yeah.
for the attack.
Oh, okay. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Roll your damage dice.
Mhm. Oh, wait, no, it allows me to add bonus dice to it. So I get
Okay.
to roll. And I roll an extra one for the bonus over difficulty, right? Or is that just straight damage?
That's just straight damage.
Okay. Three, 4, 5. That is 8 damage plus the 1, so 9 damage. Plus I had 2 effects, but I don't think unarmed has any.
How many dice?
Oh,
did you-
knockdown. It has the knockdown special quality.
How much?
Which I'm.
How many dice did you roll?
That was 8 dice
Okay.
because
don't
it
know
would
the-
be.
I'm not sure that's right, but I'm not worried about it.
I use the character creator, and that's
yeah,
what
it says
told me
6
to-
on your sheet, and then
Yeah.
applied force should give you 1 more.
2 more because I have an 11 or higher.
Oh, that's what it says. I'm sorry. I'm
That's fine.
obviously not reading correctly. No, okay. So you did 9 damage, and how many effect? 2?
2 effect, and
Okay.
that has the knockdown property, which I'm not exactly sure what that does.
I know this is surprising, but it knocks him down.
Okay.
like literally, that's all it does.
Well, because I got 2 of them, he gets knocked down, but when he gets back up again, he gets knocked down again.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't because he's never going to let you down.
Mhm. Well, he'd let me down if he didn't fall down.
So you hit him. You do some damage, but it is
Mhm.
clear between the armor and his scaling that he is taking a third of the damage you did. He doesn't feel.
Yeah.
The rest of it is enough to knock him down anyway because you crit with that damage with that damage amount. So he is kind of knocked down and then knocked unconscious, kind of laying there, and then kind of slowly shimmers into into invisibility.
Mhm.
And then you kind of from kind of all directions hear hissing, but nothing is there.
Is the body? I'm gonna kind of nudge it.
Oh yeah,
with
no,
my
the body's
foot.
still there. It seems like
Okay.
this is a natural camouflage that happens automatically.
Awesome.
And where's Tobin while all of this is going down?
He's locked inside the ship.
Like a sensible person.
I need could I get all three of you to roll? Let's call it Insight Command. And Rory, your diplomacy will apply.
Okay. That is
And
4 successes.
Lonnie, your criminal elements would apply.
Excellent.
And do we have target? Is it just
It's just kind of to see how much information you know.
2 successes because of the criminal information.
I critted on both of mine,
Nice.
Excellent.
so 4.
what did you call for again, please?
I'm sorry. Insight and Command.
2 successes.
Fantastic. So all of you know that these are Tosks. They're a Dominion species hunted by a different Dominion species.
Mhm.
There's a whole thing on Deep Space Nine, but it's believed that a lot of their genetic makeup was used to make the Jem'Hadar. So the natural cloaking, the like the armored skin, that comes from at least partially the Tosk. The Tosk, though, were not a combative species. They were a surviving species. So they went and hid or they fled. They were known for being able to hide. Them attacking like this is odd for this universe. Rory, what you know is that in this universe, they believe in the hunt. They know it's going to happen, and they kind of resign themselves to it. But they are seen as a very like second class or even third class citizen inside the Dominion. They essentially only exist for the dry to hunt them and kill them. That's their only existence, only purpose. Clearly, that's not the case here. But if you were going to use infiltrators, like that's almost guaranteed what this is. So that moment in the video you saw where something happened and they ejected the warp core, it's possible that these Tosk had something to do with that.
Gentlemen, I believe these are Tosk. Apparently, in the mirror universe, they took a different path. I mean, in our Gamma Quadrant, they're, I hate to say it, they're prey.
Yeah.
So these may be the ones responsible for the warp core injection. We may be able to reason with them.
I think we need to make sure that there's no way they can get back to our ship.
Well, I'd like to tell the captain to go to red alert at this point, but we can't communicate with them right now.
Do we just want to holler out to them like, hey, we don't want to fight?
Tosk infiltrators, we don't mean you any harm. You're not where you should be.
There doesn't seem to be any response to that.
All right. Going to one of my favorite phrases. Can I get a vibe check on these guys, or do they have the resistance that the Jem'Hadar do to...
Oh, no, you can get a vibe check on them.
Okay.
I would say, given... So your vibe check is not going to be based on what they're doing currently. It's going to be based on kind of how they're acting as a whole, which you don't have a lot of information on. So,
well, I didn't know if I could get like their emotional state or...
Oh, that's
are
right.
they
Duh, you're
scared?
freaking
Are they...
Betazoid.
Yep.
You are... You get the like... As you kind of reach out, I'm sorry. Let's have you make a roll. It's going to be insight and command. Difficulty of 2. We're going to change one of your focuses to vibe check.
Yeah. We need to change one of them because that was 1 success. So,
okay.
Like I said, I assume they have some sort of telepathic resistance because I think the Jem'Hadar do.
Not so much. So as you kind of reach out, you kind of feel 3 minds that are awake and one that is unconscious.
Hmm.
Um, and you get this feeling of it's not words that you can that you're getting you're getting an idea, not a phrase.
Yeah.
But you get this idea of hiding in tall grass while something large and murderous kind of stalks around looking for you. But it seems like almost like a tickle in the back of your mind, not necessarily a forethought, like a thought up front, but like just
Hmm.
something that kind of plays in the back of the mind. The other thing you feel is um, murderous intent, but in defense of themselves.
Okay. So they think we mean them harm, so we need to try and find some way to show them we don't.
I'm gonna
Wait,
lead by example. I'm gonna put my phaser up.
no, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to lean down next to the not the Jim Hadar, the Tosk that is unconscious, and just pull a Neil Patrick Harris from Starship Troopers. It's afraid. Narrow casting jokes here.
I assumed you were gonna tell it to go bug mom. Um,
I'm doing my part.
and this is when Phil tells us he's never seen Starship Troopers.
Oh no, I've seen that one.
Okay, whew. I was concerned. So yeah, you put your phaser away, Rory.
Yeah.
There
I do
is
as well.
Lonnie, you hear kind of a scrape on the ground next to you where the cloaked Tosk is.
Mhm.
Do you want to do anything?
Um, Commander, why don't you get in the shuttle with I've forgotten his name.
Tobin, Perrin, Commander
Tobin.
Perrin.
Yeah. Why don't you get in the shuttle with Tobin? I've got a pretty good feel for these guys, and with the Betazoid training, I can kind of feel where they are, and maybe one person will be less scary than two.
I mean, getting in their shuttle. Do you think that's the best way to defuse it, though?
I mean, it'll keep y'all safe.
I'll back into the. Well, I thought one of them shut the door.
Yeah, the door's shut and locked. Tobin's going to try here in a second to unlock it, I'm sure.
Oh, is there one locked in there with him?
Nope, it's just Tobin.
Okay.
There were three. Locking the door made there two. It lessens their adversaries quite a bit.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, basically, my move here is I'm going to
Knock it on the
sheathe
door.
my. What is that weapon called? I don't remember the name of it.
It's a house dagger.
Yeah,
it has
I
a
thought it's
separate name.
Detong.
Yeah, there you go.
Detong. I'm going to sheath it. I'm going to put my phaser up, and I'm going to sit cross-legged on the floor.
Okay. Tobin, you're inside the ship, and it's kind of locked you out, but also locked you in. What do you want to do?
I'm going to keep fighting to regain control.
Okay. Give me another reason in engineering. Difficulty of 3. And computer still applies.
Buy one die.
Okay, cool. That puts us down to 2.
That is 4 successes.
That'll push back up to 3. Yeah, so you start again on the flight control because the tactical just is kind of shut down and won't let you do anything. But you can access a lot of the same systems from flight control. You avoid any of the security measures this time. Unlock the door, and then set it up so that only your command codes can be used to unlock the ship.
All right, Commander. I think we've got this under control now.
Great.
Yeah, so the door unlocks, pops open. Are you getting in, Rory?
I'm going to stand. I'm not going to stand right in the doorway because I don't want to be crushed by that door if it gets shut again.
Yeah.
But I'll be standing right inside the threshold, door open, monitoring the situation.
Sure.
Hopefully, hoping that Lonnie can defuse it. If not, I'll see what I can do to help.
Yeah, Lonnie, it's a couple of long minutes of nothing.
Mhm.
You hear another kind of scrape by your side, like whoever was there is moving away from you. And then you hear a third, and then a fourth, and then you don't hear anything from that direction anymore.
Okay.
And kind of up on the second floor on a mezzanine, um, just like kind of all of a sudden, a Tosk appears, and he says, "By order of the Vorta, you are in violation of Dominion space and must be killed."
I do apologize. There was an issue with your ship, and you are not where you think you are.
We're
Have
inside some um, other um, some empire's ship that we've
has
come to destroy.
has the Dominion learned of the mirror universe?
He looks at nothing, like he's conferring with people,
Yeah.
and he says, "I'm not sure what that means."
Oh, this is going to take a while. Um, basically, you are in a different universe. There are at least two that run next to each other, and sometimes we cross over. I believe you are used to fighting the Terran Federation.
I don't know anything about a Terran Federation. What you're saying is correct, Rock.
Okay,
Like
I'm
you're saying the right thing.
yeah.
I saw that look of, am I? Wait, hold on. Did I say no? You're saying
Yeah.
the right thing. They
Okay.
don't know this information.
We just want to get you back to where you belong, back to your home.
Then have your people remove themselves from the ship. We'll take the power cell and power our ship and leave.
The problem is that you are not in your space.
He looks again like he's conferring with others,
Hmm.
and then he says that doesn't make any sense.
I agree. But unfortunately, it is the truth. What we would like to do is sit down with my friends, and they're smarter than I am.
Identify yourself and your affiliation.
I'm Lieutenant Commander Lonnie Bex from the United Federation of Planets.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like he's conferring again, and then he disappears. Um, and you hear a bit of a thump, kind of on the ground in front, like on the first floor in front of the mezzanine,
Mhm.
before he uncloaks again, walking towards you. You said United Federation of Planets?
Yes.
We were attacked by a ship claiming to be from the United Empire of Planets.
That is our Mirrorverse counterpart, I
And
believe.
some furry captain threatened our Vorta.
As you can see, we mean you no harm. The United Federation of Planets wages a mission of peace across the galaxy. We want to bring peace and plenty to all peoples. We would like to help you return to your home. Will you work with us on that to make that happen?
I'm still unsure what you're talking about.
Can I do something as an act of good faith to try to earn your trust?
He looks, and then three other Tosk. One that's kind of like bleeding from the corner of his
Yeah.
mouth, up here, and he is holding some sort of like piece of a wall or a conduit. It's almost like he's got a lead pipe in his hand.
Yeah.
And he kind of steps forward, and the one you've been talking to kind of puts his hand out to stop him. He says, "Go ahead."
I am not going to hurt you. I will slowly draw my phaser,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to shoot it at a piece of something. Ideally, not a piece of person, but
Mhm.
whatever works, on the ground.
Okay.
And I will then turn it around and hand it to the lead Tosk. This is my phaser. This is my weapon. I also have a dagger, but I am going to keep that. This is a sign that I trust you. That I mean you no harm, and nor do my friends.
He takes the phaser from you, looks it over, taps at the settings for a second,
Mhm.
And then taps it a few more times like he's figured it out,
Mhm.
and sets it to kill, and then clips it to his belt.
So will you please return with us to our ship in peace?
You can't send us back to a place that you claim we are not in anymore from here.
We, unfortunately, we are the exploratory crew. We have our scientists back on ship where they're safe.
I will need to retrieve something from the shuttle if you'll have your friends remove themselves.
Will you... Basically, I'm going to ask him to promise not to leave. Because I really am trying to...
The ship's doesn't have. We took your power cell so that we could power our ship to leave. There's something that happened during the when we landed in this hangar bay that caused a power sap.
Can any of us that are listening roll to figure out what that might have been?
Yeah, let's go. I would say honestly, anybody can roll. It's going to be a difficulty of 3. It would be reason and either science or engineering.
Good lord, I got 2 successes. That's amazing for my reason in science.
Are we all rolling, or are there just one of us?
Yeah, all of you can roll if you want.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, I thought that's what you said, that's why I went ahead and rolled.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, wow, I got a success.
Okay.
I got 2 successes.
I mean, it could be a lot of things. It depends on how they came in and how the shielding works. It could have caused like a brief power fluctuation that drained the power reserves on the ship. Um, like the ship this size isn't going to have a warp core, probably. Like you can't imagine where it would have gone, but maybe the shields, maybe incompatible technology kind of bouncing off each other. It's also possible that the mirror ship has some sort of defensive capability in the hangar bay that would kind of suck the power out of a ship in it.
So, what do you need to get from your ship?
I would need to make sure that we have all of our proper communication equipment.
Okay.
And that we are appropriately dressed.
Okay. Commander?
Come on, Toad, let's vacate the ship so they can get what they need.
Yes, sir.
So as the two of you walk out, he walks up to the first one, the first like the plain bulkhead, and like hammers on it with his hand, and it opens like a hatch. And he grabs out what look like kind of 4 robish trench coat things, and tosses the 3 of them to the other people, and then tosses them what kind of looks similar but is not, um, like original series com links. So they're all handheld. They're not. There's no communicators on their chest. And he tucks one in his pocket and throws the other 3 to the other Tosk. How are we getting to your ship?
Actually, while they're doing that, I'm gonna kind of lean over to Rory. I'm like, when we get into communication range, you may want to suggest Captain Halada stay in her quarters.
I already planned on that one.
Excellent. We will be taking our ship.
You did bring the ship. We transported
Yeah,
over.
you beamed over.
Oh, okay.
Which our communicators are still down.
Well then.
Ask your friends if they're jamming communications.
I think the next step would be to figure out what's jamming our communications so we can do this.
Oh, hold on. He walks over to the panels, like by the door, and taps a couple of things. And he goes up. You should be fine now.
Boop boop.
Serenitis.
Oh, I'm very excited for this. We have discovered some survivors from the Mirror Universe. They're the Dominion Collective of the Mirror Universe. Commander, do you want to take this over, or
Yeah.
as long as he's visibly shaking?
Captain Halada,
Commander.
we have discovered Mirror Universe Dominion. They're quite different than what we were expecting. The captain for the Mirror Universe ship was I just drew a blank. Not Haitian.
Haitian.
Is it Haitian?
Haitian.
Haitian
With a
with a
K.
C.
Cation, thank you. It was Cation. He did attack, so I'm suggesting that we limit any of our Cation crew members to stay out of sight for the time being.
Understood, Commander.
We're going to be beaming them aboard. We told them that that would be the best way to get them home, which I am definitely endorsing at this point.
I'll connect you with engineer or with transporter.
Thank you.
Transporter chief.
Chief, we've got 6 to beam over?
7.
Is it 7?
Who are you leaving behind?
Well, there's the 3 of us, and I thought there was only 3 of them.
There are 4 of them.
There's 4 of them. They keep mentioning a Vorta. Do we need to beam the Vorta with us?
No, probably no Vorta.
Oh, okay.
He says, Commander, I only see 3 life signs.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. In our universe, they only refer to themselves with no names as the Husk.
Tosk.
Tusk. Do you have a designation that you prefer?
No, I'm a Tosk.
Tusk.
But Mr. Bex, you have a scanning device?
Do I?
Tricorders are standard away away team. Like, yeah. He kind of holds out his hand. Do you hand it to him?
Yeah. And please call me Lonnie.
He taps a few things and hands it back, and he says, "Have them scan like that."
All right. Uploading to the cloud.
It looks like a little bit of gobbledygook. Like this is not your strong suit. You can probably figure it out with time.
Mm-hmm.
You send it over to the transporter chief, and he says,
"That's a backwards cue. That's neat. How did you do that?"
Yeah, this is. I'm sorry, Commander Bex. Did you send me this on purpose?
One of the Tosk did.
All right, Commander Valen, am I okay to put this into the system?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I see all 7 of you. Okay, I'm beaming over. The 3 of you materialize. The Tosk materialize on other spots on the pad. There is a security officer kind of standing in the room, but he is not armed.
Mhm.
Um, and um, yeah, the toss kind of like are looking around. They still have almost a prey like expression to how they're taking in the room, but they kind of move down off the pad and take a look at what all is here. Something that is of note, if you guys haven't picked up on it, is pretty important. They are picking up technology at a speed that is faster than they should.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about that, but I wanted to de-escalate the situation before stepping forward on anything else.
Um,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm not too concerned because if we can get them home, that's the mirror universe problem, not ours.
The Tosk you've been speaking to kind of steps up towards you while the other three are kind of still taking things in. He says, what are our next steps then?"
Our next steps is to go down to engineering to figure out the best way to not reinvent, to duplicate the events that got you and that ship here in the first place.
What events do you think those were?
From what we were able to see from your scans, at some point, we believe it might have been your team ejected the war.
We did not eject the warp core. We caused the warp core to overload.
So then the ship, then I guess the sovereign ship ejected it to try to prevent the explosion from happening in the ship.
Yeah, their engineer was fast.
Toby, does that line up with what you were theorizing to begin with? I don't think we considered a warp core overload.
The explosion you saw in the sensor logs, kind of everything that goes along with that suggests that something caused a warp warp core overload.
So we're going to basically try to figure out how to replicate that back to your universe.
That seems dangerous.
No more than initiating a cascade failure in a warp core while you're still on the ship.
Oh, that was purposely dangerous. Dying for the Dominion is our right.
No.
Out of character, has the Federation figured out a way to contact the mirror universe with any
Sort of.
regularity, or
Sort of. There is transphasic teleporters, I think is what it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
yeah, that's
double
what they.
checking. What
That's
now?
what they
I know what
used
I'm
to
gonna
kidnap
do.
Cisco.
I know what I'm
Yeah.
going to do. I'm going to tap Chief of Security to Minkler.
Yes, sir.
Can I see you in I'll say a room that's close to here.
Sure. I'll be there in just a moment, sir.
Good thinking.
Yeah, it's a couple minutes later. He
Mhm.
peeks his head in. Is it just you, or is it you and the Tosk?
It's going to be me surrounded by with the four Tosk behind me. Sitting
Uh,
I'm sitting at the desk and they're behind me. Have a
He
seat,
looks
please.
at them. Can I do for you, sir? As he sits down.
We have had a convergence with the mirror universe. I'm assuming you're familiar.
Of course, sir. It's all in all the security briefings.
I was hoping that you would share with us any knowledge to get my companions here back to their home.
I'm sorry, sir. You don't have clearance for that. And he gives this just horrid shit-eating grin at you.
I'm gonna punch him. I'm just gonna grab him by the collar
I was gonna say,
and
don't I have
punch
the
him.
clearance?
Can I get you to? We're going to make an opposed roll. I am going to spend a threat to get an extra dice.
Okay. What is the opposed roll for?
You're punching him, and he is going to attempt to do something to you while you do that.
Okay.
So you can run your normal punching, like however.
Yep. I am going to spend my determination to activate rebellious nature.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense. I would also accept squad of siblings.
Yeah. And I am also going to buy a die.
I would also accept do good recklessly.
Hmm.
Clearly, this goes against everyone deserves a second chance.
Oh, this is his third or fourth, maybe fifth chance. And besides, my friends behind me deserve a second chance.
Sure.
All right, so that is 6 successes.
Ooh, okay. He got 4, so that would be enough successes for you to go ahead and hit him. As you swing at him,
Yeah.
he moves with some sort of martial arts.
Hmm.
He attempts to move out of the way, grab you, and like toss you.
Yeah.
His timing is off. Your arms are a little bit longer than he was
Mhm.
expecting, and he just kind of takes it on the chin.
Also, I'm going to tell him, honey, don't try that on a telepath.
Nice.
I don't really want to roll damage for it. I'm just going to be like,
Go ahead and roll damage. Just just roll damage,
yeah.
and he dies.
Doctor, can you reattach a head?
4, 5, 6, 7, 9 with 2 effects.
Oh yeah,
Plus
he gets
the-
knocked to the ground and kind of like slides across the floor a little, and he like immediately like blood starts running
Yeah.
down his face out of his nose, and
I gave these gentlemen my word that we would help them. So for once, do the right thing in your life.
I'm gonna walk over, or I'm gonna grab Minkler, kind of straighten his uniform, set him back in the chair.
what do you want to know?
How to get them home. I don't want to know. I don't care how. You don't have to tell me how it works. I just want your word that they will be safe and returned home.
I'm not sure if I can do that, but let me pull up information on your console. He goes over to he comes up to your console. Do you watch what he's doing?
No. I am again going to try to show faith. I'm
Oh,
giving him a second chance, but
I'm watching him. This is a political thing. I'm watching him closely.
Oh, he is searching through classified security information that you didn't know was in the ship's computer, while also doing something else.
Are you sending? What are you doing, Minkler?
The commander said that he wanted a way to get these Tosk home.
You and
I'm
I
trying
know
to do
both.
that.
You're doing 2 things at once. What is the other thing you're doing?
Oh, yeah. If you can do anything, you should do it efficiently.
he is just in the running for another.
He is. So yeah, he looks at he says, I'm trying to make sure that I'm not going to get in trouble for giving this information out. I am messaging my superior. Is that okay?
That's fine.
He stops for a second with the search and taps a couple of things and spins your console towards Commander Perrin. And he says, you've got to build this, Commander. And you're looking at schematics for something called a multi-dimensional transporter. From a quick look, you could probably put that together in half hour, 45 minutes. Like, it's not out of the question.
Give me 2 hours, Commander.
Okay.
And you gotta, give yourself the Scotty,
Yeah. Is there anything else I can do for you, gentlemen?
Well,
I don't believe so.
The doctor.
Good. I'll go clean up, talk to the doctor, make sure that my nose isn't broken. Commander.
If he is, they'll just run a light over it. Lonnie thumbs his very broken nose, with the...
Yeah. He leaves. He heads out.
As soon as the door shuts, What was the doctor's name?
Oh, Rhombus.
Dr. Rhombus? Commander Valen?
Yes. Uh huh.
So Meekler's on his way. Give him some special treatment.
The little twerp.
Yeah.
Be kind.
Why?
Kindish. Go
So
easy on
you
the
want
anesthetic.
good bedside manners? What you're saying?
Oh, I want your very best bedside manner.
Okay. Well, I mean, won't be my fault when he's in traction. Rhombus out.
That
So with
felt
your
strangely
leave,
good.
I'm sorry.
Hmm?
What did you say?
Sean had started to say something.
I just said that felt strangely good.
Rory, with your leave, I will take the Tosks to a place where they can rest. It has been a very long and eventful day.
We are right at break time. I'm just trying to make sure that we've got somebody at the computer, but I'm not sure that we do. Oh, fantastic. So we're going to take a 10-minute break. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Between now and then, I have a thing to read. I have it right here. I'm going to do this correctly. Hey, don't forget that you can follow us and subscribe. There's a button right there on the screen. Probably there-ish, I'm hoping. I don't know. You should click the follow button for sure. It doesn't cost you anything, doesn't require anything. However, you can also click the subscribe button. It's free if you have Amazon Prime. I believe it still is. So you can get that set up and be subscribed for free. And if you wanted to toss a little bit of money our way through subscriptions, that'd be great. Otherwise, we're just really glad you're here. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Welcome back to the Voyages up here on Rick and Rasp. We'll get back to the story here in a second, but first, it's starting tomorrow. 2 weeks ago is when it was supposed to start, but there was a family emergency. So starting tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, Redemption Podcast will be joining Rick and Rasp to stream Smuggler's Blues, an Edge of the Empire actual play. So come out for that. It's a great group, and they're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. And it'd be great if you had a chance to watch that with us. So that starts tomorrow, March 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's what I got. So let's get back to the story. So Minkler scurries off in a very Minkler way. What are you guys doing?
I want to see what we can do to make the Tosks ideally short stay more comfortable. Arrange quarters for them, get some food.
Limit their access to the ship's computers, please.
Yes.
You show them to you are given 4 quarters that are kind of all together on the deck that has a lot of the diplomatic suites or diplomatic quarters. You show them to the first one, and they all 4 walk in, and they're like, "Oh, this will be very nice. Thank you." And they're like, as though they're all 4 staying in this room.
We do have one.
I'm not even there because I'm an engineer.
Oh, for sure.
There's one for each of you if you want it.
That seems excessive.
It's a big ship. We tend to prioritize the crew's needs over, we're not built for war, so we're built for exploration long term, so we have plenty of room for families and other members to kind of spread out.
I see. I don't believe that will be necessary. We should be fine here.
Give them the nickel tour.
Sure.
Replicator.
So what are you locking them out of, I guess is a better question.
Limit their...
Like, they get replicators and, like, basic level access.
Okay.
Actually, I was thinking, why don't we basically not give them access to things because they don't necessarily know or expect what's there, and we leave a couple of security folks, my security folks, not Minkler's security folks, with them to, in case they want food, they can say, okay, I'm going to run and grab that for you, go into the next room, replicate it, and bring it back.
I'm good with that.
That way they have pretty much no access to any of our information.
Smart.
Yeah. I'm an optimist, not an idiot.
Okay. So you set a couple of security officers outside. What's the plan from there?
I'm going to, since we're on the ship, it feels somewhat safe to split the party.
Yeah.
Famous last words.
Minkler drops from the ceiling.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the bridge and brief the captain on everything that's going on. Give her a little more concise report, other than my coded,
Yeah.
attempts.
I am actually going to stay in the room with the Tosk.
Oh, okay. They find places to perch. They're not sitting. They are like hunched down on the balls of their feet, or like they are standing, but they don't sit down. They kind of just, there's a sense of any time they can move kind of feel to the room.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of there.
I'm just working on building the transporter.
Okay. So the captain, Rory, so tell me about what's going on with the ship and the Tosk.
The Tosk, as far as we're being able to tell, is the Jem'Hadar evolved differently over the mirror universe. It appears that they never fully developed them into Jem'Hadar, maybe, or if they have, these are a specialized group for infiltration. Once we explained to them that we didn't mean any harm, that we were different than that ship, they seemed to stand down and were receptive to what we had to say and our abilities to get them home. The captain of that ship, unfortunately, was a Cation, so I figured it was safer to keep you out of sight until we can really judge their emotions, but they were sent specifically to stop that ship.
I see. What did you gain any information on what is the current state in the mirror universe?
Uh, Seems like it's an ongoing war right now.
Okay.
I doubt, from what we know of the mirror universe, the Empire would ask US to make peace with the Dominion. That seems like two tidal forces just coming at each other until one of them finally loses.
Understood. And our Commander Perrin is working on something classified that we shouldn't know about.
Yeah, we were able to get Minkler to contact us to get us a transdimensional transporter module that allows
how
us
did
to
that
send
work?
them back. I'm not engineering is not my strong suit, Captain, but Commander Perrin seemed to think that he'd have it installed within 2 hours.
Oh no, I mean, how did you convince Minkler to do anything?
Diplomacy, Captain.
Plum. Okay,
Mm-hmm. And
that doesn't seem suspect, but okay,
and he's learning further diplomacy from the Doctor right now.
interesting. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that the Doctor is
I believe aggressive diplomacy
correct.
is the crossing stars here, but
All right. It was firm diplomacy.
I see. Okay. Keep me updated.
Of course, Captain.
I'm waiting on a response from the Admiralty.
So if we get it installed now, are we not sending them? Or
No, that is not what I said. I said I'm waiting on a response from the Admiralty. If we make a choice for the
Okay.
here and now and the Admiralty disagrees, I'll deal with the brunt of that problem.
Either way, we've got a mirror universe ship over there for the research teams.
Yes, that is one of many concerns that I have. Yeah, carry on.
Understood, Captain.
And as you walk out, she's walking out behind you, and the backup security officer or tactical standing at tactical says, "Captain Commander, there's a hail coming in from a Dominion ship."
Of course there is. On screen.
So standing there is Gelman, you know, that Vorta you love. And he says, "Greetings, Serenitis, Captain Commander. I hope you are well. We received a strange transmission.
Really?
Yes, it was on Dominion wavelengths from a Dominion ship, but we have no Dominion ships in this area. Do you have any information on that?"
We're trying to get to the bottom of what's going on with the Sovereign class ship over there. I mean, it is apparently been attacked by Dominions. I would expect you to know any kind of operations conducted in this sector. We received a distress call and we found this ship here almost destroyed.
Interesting. We have no activity in the sector. This is far outside our space. Do you know how we would have gotten a transmission?
We have been in the ship searching for survivors. We found a shuttle bay with most of the shuttles destroyed. I have no idea. There was no other ships here when we got here.
Okay, I'm going to need you to roll presence and command. You know what? No, presence and security. Lying falls under security, I feel.
presence and security. So, okay. I would assume diplomacy works here.
Sure. That or politics.
Also, can I use one of my values? Use a determination.
Sure.
Act with confidence, even if you don't feel confidence.
Sure, that makes sense.
All right, cool. So that gives me 1 success, correct? Already?
2.
2. How many do I need?
We'll see.
Oh,
You are 2 momentum right now.
Oh,
And
you
I'm
know
only
what?
at 4th threat.
I do have a reroll, so I'm just going to go ahead and roll 2, and if I need to, I'll reroll 1.
Where do you have a reroll?
Vamp Kitty bought them for us.
Well, look at the captain helping out.
Thank you, Kitty.
Thanks, Captain.
It's because I punched Minkler, isn't it?
It probably is.
I'm going to reroll the 20 that I just rolled.
Oh, good. Yeah.
It rerolled a 20.
Yes.
So that is 3 successes. And a
Fantastic.
complication. I hate my dice tonight.
So he kind of looks at you and he says, "It's interesting that you say there were no other ships and you didn't mention the Dominion-style ship sitting in the hangar bay you just said you were in."
How could they pick that up when we couldn't?
Well, you have to also keep in mind that the cloaking technology is inherent to the Dominion.
Oh, I thought Minkler called the Dominion.
Oh no, that would be fantastic. That would no.
That's
would've
what
been-
I assumed happened.
That's like top tier. I love that, but no.
Yeah, he
then I'm
would
gonna
wake
go-
up the next morning if that were the case.
when he says the Dominion ship on your in the cold. I'm like, we were there. We saw this weird, elongated. It was. Didn't you say it was brown?
Commander, I'm honestly concerned more with what's going on. Can we not play the back and forth this one time?
No, what I'm trying to say is we didn't recognize it as it looked nothing like anything that we've ever encountered with the Dominion before.
And there were no members of the Dominion on the ship.
Not that we could see. We were inside of it. In fact, you remember Commander Perrin, our engineer?
So the 4 Tosk on your ship, are you telling me that you are unaware that they're there? Commander, I'm concerned about your security.
I love the fact that you have not lied yet.
No, he's come like right up to the edge and backed off and keep going.
Ace and I bullshit.
Which I can keep going. Well, yeah, we found Tosk on the ship. We didn't realize that they were soldiers of the Dominion. We rescued them.
They are not soldiers of the Dominion. They are members of the Dominion. I'm sure that this was explained to you as it was explained to Commander Sisko when the first toss came through the wormhole. It doesn't matter. Those are Dominion citizens. I would like to speak with them. Can you put them on the screen?
Well, we have them in a room right now, so if you'll give me 20
course,
minutes
Commander.
to arrange that.
Of course.
All right, Commander out.
Yeah, the screen goes black or goes back to like space, and the Dominion ship is just outside of the asteroid field, but in a position where they can see you and the derelict ship.
Right.
Wait a second.
Mhm.
I didn't hear this, but can I point out something that he said that is incorrect?
Sure.
The Tosk are not members of the Dominion. They are specifically not in the charter, which is why in last season we couldn't protect the one we found as a refugee.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're kind of second class.
They're basically they view them as like cattle.
Yeah.
Livestock.
Yeah, so we have a different writer on this episode, and sometimes continuity.
I hope
Yeah,
someone
sorry,
got fired
my
for
bad.
that blunder.
Yeah, you're fired,
Oh,
Duke.
okay,
It's all
oh,
your
yeah.
fault.
It was
So-
a Simpsons quote.
So ever since the war, they were low on people to be in the Dominion, so they just elevated them.
I misspoke. They're property of the Dominion, I guess. Is
There you
how I
go.
would have put that.
I
That
just
just
like-
seems really gross.
Well, the Dominion's really gross.
That's fair.
I
That's fair.
mean, when we get down to it.
All right, Captain. I'm gonna go talk. See if they want to talk to our Dominion. I don't see any way around it.
So it
wait.
is. Yeah, go ahead.
How long did you say you were going to give them?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. How long can we get the? How long is it going to take to get this thing up and running?
You probably got another hour, according to what Perrin's first estimate was.
No.
Estimate was.
No, that was a Starfleet engineer. You know they always overestimate on the time.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, it's
That's what I
Boimler
got.
time.
Come ask me.
Come
Let's
ask
take
me.
the long way around. Is all I'm asking.
As that all happens, Commander Bex, one of the Tosk's communicators beeps. He pulls it open and says, "This is Tosk." And you hear Gelnan's voice.
Oh, that little slimy ass.
Is there a
yes.
way I can block the signal?
Give me a daring and security roll. Difficulty of 2.
Daring and security. Will my criminal elements help me on this one?
No, surveillance would, though. Basically,
like-
what you're going to do is turn to the panel and quickly put up a dampening field.
Yeah,
It's whether or not you get it up in time before
I
they
just-
have a conversation.
I like the idea that I'm doing something shady.
Yeah.
You said daring plus security.
Yep.
That is 3 successes.
Fantastic. That'll put you at 3 momentum. So as you hear Gelnan say, "Oh, this is Gelnan of the," and then it just cuts off as you put the dampening field in. And the Tosk turns to you and says, "Mr. Bex, I believe that was a member of the Dominion. I do wish to speak with them."
You can call me, first of all, call me Lonnie. Second of all, they have to go through we have a very strict treaty with the Dominion. So we have to go through pretty intense protocols before they can contact our ship. I'm actually kind of perturbed they could just sort of reach out and communicate through our systems.
I would wish to speak with this Vorta. Can you make that happen?
Let me go down and check with. I will go and check with the communications officers, and we will get you set up on a secured line. I'm worried that the open communications, they might be able to scan some of our technologies through that.
Of course, Commander.
Can I roll something to feed him a line of bullshit?
Oh no, he seems to be buying it.
Okay. So I will step out. I will be back in a few minutes.
Okay. Rory, where are you headed?
As I'm walking.
Yes.
Before he says where he's going, I am going to lazily walk to Rory's office.
Okay, fair.
I just wanted to say that before he said where he was going, so it didn't seem like metagaming stuff.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Well, I'm not walking towards the office. I was actually walking to where you were.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a lot of miss. But as I'm walking, Commander
We're just
Perrin.
kind of.
Commander Perrin.
Commander
Yes.
Parents and Engineering.
Yeah, no, I'm on my
Oh, okay.
communicator.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
How much longer till we have the transdimensional transporter installed?
So I pretty much have it done now.
Yeah, I mean, you're not 100% confident that it'll work, but you follow the schematics and you feel confident you built it correctly according to those. It's got a questionable power source, unstable at best, but that's also how the schematic was built. It's not Starfleet engineering. It's very clearly not Starfleet engineering.
I mean, you twist my arm, I can go now, but if you give me 15 minutes, I'll feel more confident.
Our Dominion is actually here, so I think time is of the essence.
Absolutely, Commander.
So when you say questionable, are we talking about blowing out like one transporter grid, or are we talking about frying out, everything?
Have you seen the movie The Fly?
I'm going to put this in very quantum mechanics type terminology. It's either going to work or it's not, Commander.
All right, works for me. I'm gonna get to where they are and be like, see the security guards outside. Is Commander Bex with them still?
Bex is. You meet Bex in the hall. Bex is slowly walking towards
Okay.
the turbolift to go up to the proper deck.
I was gonna just take the stairs.
There are no stairs, ironically,
I'll take the Jeffries tubes.
so you miss him
And-
completely.
I'm 7 foot and like 450 pounds. It's gonna take a while.
So I catch
Grease
you
may
while
be
he's greasing him.
involved.
Yeah, I was gonna say I catch him while he's greasing himself up, getting ready to slide through the tunnel. Commander Bex, we have a problem. The vortex here.
Agreed.
What?
I can't remember the Vorda's name.
Gelnan.
Yeah. Gelnan reached out and managed to tap the Tosk's communicators.
That's slimy.
I got it knocked off, and I said
Okay.
I was going to try to arrange a meeting, but I needed to speak to communications.
That's what
Before
I'm
I
here
could
for
do so.
because he's demanding to speak to Dominion citizens, and you and I both know that as far as he's concerned, Tosk are not exactly citizens.
Seminims.
Synonyms.
I have an idea. This is going to be kind of not as fun as it could be because, but can we put Halada on the phone with him to argue about the treaty while we whisk these people away?
Well, if they're demanding to talk to the Dominion, though, do you think they're going to leave before they talk? They're going to be under the impression this Dominion is there. Do we tell them the truth? That here in our universe, they're cattle? Not warriors for the Dominion?
I mean, I'm not sure it would matter. They're loyal to the Dominion no matter what. I mean, the Tosk here that are cattle are loyal to the Dominion.
True. All right. Captain Halada,
Yes, Commander?
Commander Bex is suggesting that you engage Gelnan with some diplomatic treaty double talk while we try and get the...
Hold on just a second, Commander. And you hear her give a verbal exchange with the security officer. Commander, there's something going on in one of the diplomacy suites. You may need to check with the Tosk. Someone's using a replicator or attempting to use a replicator as a transporter.
Let's go. I look at Lonnie and like, let's go.
Yes, I'm going to tap for. I'm terrible with names. Tobin. Hey, Toby.
Yes.
Any chance you could use that transporter while the Tosks are in the diplomacy suite?
No, it has to be attached to a transporter pad to initiate the multi-dimensional transphasic.
But I could transport them to the transporter pad.
That's true.
Yeah,
Also, as security, I'm going to raise shields. I'm going to
Sure.
put it in a call to raise shields, and I'm going to basically explain why I'm doing so to the captain and anyone who's listening, because those Tosks have gained information about the Federation from their use of our technology, so that would be a violation of the treaty if they were to go back.
Potentially, yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Because,
you get to the
I mean, that's the
diplomatic. Go ahead.
I just want to confirm that's the big reason we don't want them to go to the Dominion, right? Because they've gained a lot of our information from.
Oh, that and potentially technology updates that are different than what they have here. I mean,
This is where they belong.
I
Yeah.
mean, the TOS themselves are vastly different than what we have here in the Dominion currently.
So you get to the diplomatic quarters. The two security guards are standing there and look concerned because you're kind of running down the hall, and
Yeah.
open the door immediately. And what you find are 4 Tosk and a dead Gelnin. Gelnin has his head doesn't look forward anymore.
They're
And the
just gonna make
Tosk
a
that
new
you've
one,
been
so I'm not
speaking with
sad.
looks at Commander Bex and he says, "Mr. Bex, I told you I wanted to speak with him.
What happened here?
He's a traitor to the Dominion. I thought we had killed all of his clones."
Oh, this specific Vortex is traded to the Dominion?
Yes.
Interesting. I wonder if he is here as well.
We are getting this on recording, right? We definitely are recording this
for
room.
sure, for sure,
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
Okay.
yeah. It's been recording.
Because I'm going to send this to the Dominion. Like, hey, this
On
wasn't
a
me.
quick look at the room, the panels on either side of the replicator have been ripped off the wall, and they physically forced the replicator on so that they could bypass the security and use it as a transporter. And honestly,
Okay.
transporter and replicator technology is like right next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So-
the Tosk are a lot better with technology than the Jim Hadar. Got
yeah.
it.
I'm not saying that you guys caused some problems for us, but that's not the worst thing I've walked into. I mean, he's been a thorn in our side for quite
Would
a while
you like
now.
to go home now?
We're ready to send you.
Commander, Rory, your badge times.
Commander Valen.
This is Ensign Minkler.
Yes, Minkler.
I have orders from Admiralty. The Tosk are to be transported off of the ship.
Okay.
Oh, we just
No,
sent them
No,
over.
I'm like-
I'm gonna hang up.
I'm going to just agree. Can I roll something to stealthily tell him just to agree?
I mean, you can. That's fine.
I just don't want Minkler to overhear it.
Yeah, go for it. That's fine.
What would that be?
Oh, no, I mean, you can just do it. That's fine.
Okay. Basically, we were just ordered to get them off the ship. Let's go get them off the ship.
Yeah.
And Minkler says, the USS Vigor is here. Please beam them, or please lower the shields so that they can be beamed to the Vigor. None of you know of the Vigor. You've never heard of the Vigor before in your entire career.
Let's get them to the transporter.
All right, so let's head
Gotta
down
be
to
able to-
Transporter Bay.
And, once to the captain. Captain, we're going off the books. Please stand by. Double click
Yeah,
Commander.
Commander, you
Uh,
tap the thing, she's gone.
Yeah, sorry. I kind of do this tap. Sorry, there is enter.
Do you actually want to talk
I'm-
to the captain?
I'm going through a tunnel, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the last tab, Commander Perrin, we are on our way to the holodeck. Please lock it down until we get there.
Why are you going to the holodeck, Commander?
I mean, transporter room.
Okay, fabulous.
All
I mean,
can
I've
say
always
is
wanted to go to the holodeck, so, you know.
all I can say is I'm really glad I'm already greased up. We're into the Jeffries tubes. Almost got him. Almost.
As you are moving through the hallway, your badge chimes again, Commander.
I'm going to grab the badge off of him and just throw it behind us.
Fantastic.
Okay, at least they can't walk onto me now.
Yeah, you get to the transporter room, and the transporter chief seems very concerned. Commander Perrin, did you join them in the transporter?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have thought he was there installing it, so.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. So, yeah, you're there just kind of finishing up getting it attached correctly. The 4 Tosk look at the device. It's a little bit bigger than a basketball. and it glows kind of a purple from the power source. And they look at it and then look back and say to Commander Bex, Mr. Bex, what is exactly that we're doing here?
Basically, we are going to use this technology to beam you back to your home.
To your own universe.
Yeah, to your own. Well, they weren't necessarily grokking with the universe stuff, so like back where you came from.
I see. Proceed, I guess.
Before you do, just to cover, we need to cover story. I'm gonna look at the lead task. If you would, punch me in the face.
He looks over at Bex.
I'm going to tell our superiors that, to be honest with you, our superiors want to capture you. We want to send you home. So if you punch me, it's going to make them look like you overpowered us.
I see. I wouldn't punch you though, Commander. And then as he kind of says that, he moves forward very quickly, like liquid-like, grabs hold of you and tosses you so you end up upside down and smash into the wall. You don't lose consciousness, but it does kind of like your sight fades just a little bit for a second.
Thanks.
Good job. And he looks over at Bex and says, so the transporter pad, do I need to throw you too?
No, we're good.
What about your other friend here?
I'll take
The
care
other
of it.
commander. Okay. And he gets up on the transporter pad. The other three get up there with him. And Commander Bex, your comm badge chipes.
I'm just gonna ignore it.
Fantastic.
No. Oh, I was
Oh.
gonna say answer it. Be like, they've attacked Captain or Commander Valen.
Yeah. I'll pop it on.
This is Minkler. Please lower the shields before I force the shields down. There's a Dominion ship out there. I wouldn't want to see the ship without shields for any time.
Sure thing. Go ahead and I'll give the order to lower the shields. And as soon as I finish it, I'm gonna motion to the transporter
Fantastic.
chief because I'd have to lower them to transport these guys anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Tobin, can I get a reason? No, it's not reason. I'm sorry. A control and engineering roll. I'm going to be countering that roll with a different roll. As I'm going to attempt to beam your beam. This is a thing you can do in Star Trek. And you're just going to basically try and confine the beam so they can't. So I am starting with 3 dice, though.
Do you have any determinations that are
Yeah.
What happens when I roll a complication?
No, that's a success for us.
No.
But yeah, if you have any focuses that or not focuses, what are they called? Yeah, focuses.
Oh, the value.
Values.
And then somebody should roll for the ship. I'm not actually sure what transporting is. Hold on.
I've been rolling like crap all night, so someone else roll.
I can roll for it. Transporting.
I don't quite feel that I can use a value, so I will buy a die with momentum.
Control engineering, sensors and engineering, Rob.
Sensors and engineering.
You're buying a die that'll put you guys down to 2?
You want to go ahead and buy 2 die? That'll put us at 0, but you know.
Well, he also has a reroll on board too.
True.
So it's up to you.
Do any of my focuses apply?
No.
I got 2.
Okay.
And 1 for the ship.
Fantastic. You guys actually beat me. There is a moment where a Federation transporter signal interferes. You kind of reconfine your beam and modulate the frequency. And as you do, the 4 Tosk disappear off the pad. Unfortunately, the multi-dimensional transporter begins to spark and smoke, and then there's a small pop with a lot of black acrid smoke that comes out of it.
Lonnie just kind of like, good. I was gonna shoot it afterwards, but one of the Tosks made off with my phaser.
You gave him the phaser?
I was
Yes, but
wondering
they don't know that.
why they built that into that.
Commander Bex, your communicator goes off again.
Hello?
Uh, Commander, this is the captain. Have you seen Commander Valen? I can't seem to get a hold of him, and he is not with his communicator.
Yeah, I think one of the Tosk didn't like the way he was talking and, well, kind of hurled him across the transporter bay, crashed him into the setup. It was an ugly sight, but we think we got the Tosk beamed off the ship.
It's not. I've been informed by the Dominion ship that their Vorta is missing.
Yeah, you may want to check the security footage on Dip Room 1.
Excellent. And there is a New Orleans class off of our starboard. Do we know anything about that?
I think those are Minkler's friends, so you may want to touch base with him about that. You might have difficulty understanding him. His jaw's a little rough from the last time I saw him.
I'm being transmitted orders from the Admiralty. If I could meet with my senior staff as soon as possible.
All right, I'll get the doc to shine a light on. God, I'm just terrible with names tonight.
No,
Rory
I'm
Valen.
fine.
On Rory, and we'll be right down.
I get up. I'm like, brush myself off. I'm like, it's no worse than wiping out in holodeck when I'm surfing. So
Yeah, like you can tell from the throw that their strength is similar to a Klingon, like the way he just quickly lifted you, but not. He didn't use it all.
Yeah.
Slyly hand a flask over to you.
Oh, that's good.
So the three of you come to the the
Captain's quarters.
the observation lounge. Is that what it is? No,
The ready room.
the ready room. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you.
Mhm.
The captain is sitting there, and there is a female Vulcan. Her rank shows Commodore, which is odd because Commodores don't exist right now. It's a rank that has gone away. And her uniform is black on black with just the slightest bit of red showing through and like piping. And a lot of motions for you to sit. She says, this is Tassal. She is commander of the Vigor. I'm told that she is... The orders I've received are that the Tosk are to be handed over to her, as well as the derelict ship and anything on it.
Captain, it was the weirdest thing. We were escorting him to the transporter room, and they overpowered me, threw me across the room, and jumped on the transporter pad, and they beamed out.
I'm sure that the Halata says, I'm sure that that's what the security feeds will show as well. And she looks over at Tassal, and Tassal says, it doesn't matter. The ship is what's important. I will deal with the Dominion as well. You are welcome to leave. Tassal, without like going anywhere, taps her badge twice and beams away.
See, they could have done that to the Tosk anytime they wanted to. They wanted us to help them get away.
Why did I get assigned to this ship again?
Oh, come on, it's fun.
Because they use a lot of probes. We have used a large number of probes this season, which I'm a fan of.
With the captain's leave, Toby, let's go get a drink. And,
let's, Halata speaks up, let's wait until we're out of weapons range of the Dominion first, perhaps.
Good idea. By the way, I tap shields to max, please.
Yeah, you can feel them come back on. The ship maneuvers away out of the asteroid field, and you kind of warp back to where you were doing your stellar cartography. When you come out of warp and go back to kind of what you're doing and start checking your where your people are, Minkler is nowhere to be found on the ship.
I was going to ask if he was still here or not. A little slimy.
It's the next few days go by without an issue. Commander Bex, you hear a chime at your door, your office door.
All right. Can I get a feel from what's on the other side?
Smugness.
All right.
Like
I will.
deep smugness. Like someone from New England who just watched the Patriots win the Super Bowl.
I will answer the door with my hand on my house knife.
It's Minkler. Commander, can we have a conversation, perhaps without stabbing or punching?
We'll see. I think that really depends on you.
It does. Excellent. Do you let him in and sit down?
Yeah.
Okay. As he walks in, you recognize a couple of differences. First of all, he is wearing red instead of gold.
Mhm.
And he has the rank of commander.
Oh.
And he sits down across from you and he says, I understand that you have particular feelings of me serving under you. So I have taken it upon myself to request a reassignment.
I don't have issues with you serving under me. I have issues with those who don't follow orders being under me. And I have issues with those who don't bring the Federation's belief structure under me.
Understand. I will be assigned to the diplomatic corps here on the ship. You will receive orders from the Admiralty sometime tomorrow morning. I hope that we can exist here on the ship as friends, and that we can come to recognize my rank.
Is that
Is that
all?
something we can do, Commander?
I sure hope it is.
Excellent. Excellent. I look forward to working with you. I'm sure that the next few months will be quite illuminating. He stands up and puts a phaser down on your desk. Says, I think you left that somewhere. Might want to put that back in a locker. And he kind of turns around and walks out.
He's such a douche.
So that's where we're going to end tonight. That's pretty much what I had. Hey, if you have not, we've got a fantastic YouTube channel where all these episodes go. Also, there's a ton of other episodes for other games. We've got the first 2 seasons of this show. Definitely check that out. It should be in chat, although I'm checking now, and I'm going to put it in chat. Hopefully, if I remember how to do it, or if I can spell YouTube, I'm real good. Hey, look at that. Thank you, John. Don't miss out on our Discord. We have a lot of fun over there. And it's a good time. Accidental. And then remember the Kickstarter we talked about earlier today. If you want to go sign up for that, I'm going to drop the link again in the chat. And that will be up tomorrow, but you can sign up to get a reminder tonight, and they'll be able to help you out with that. Otherwise, we are back next week for the end of the season, or the end of this half of the season. And we will see you guys at the same time. So we will see you guys next week. Have a great night.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.